still for women it's sometimes more difficult to get heard. You feel a little bit inhibited maybe to speak aloud against men or against other people. But I think education is very important for all of this, and getting educated equally and being, in an environment where you are really considered equal to others and where you get this feeling of not only being treated as equal, but where you feel equal and where you get this attitude of being more assertive and don't feel inhibited to speak. I think that's very important. And so I think that really the clue in all this is in education and training from childhood, from really young age, to get recognized and to feel strong. I think that's important.
What you said, like minorities or race, or like we come from a very diverse world and we need to be represented to have different opinions, non-biased decisions, and I think that's very important, and that can be that you have to start with capacity building projects, with education and things like this, because it's really also having some role models from women to see I'm also able to do something similar. I want to do it. It was really impressive to see Monica presenting her work, and having people like this that you can see yourself reflected. It really helps that women will be involved into climate change, and by studying the consequences you really see how difficult is this topic and you want to contribute. So I think this is a process that will help women to get more involved.
People with an impairment, actually you have this problem of double discriminations, and so this is very important. If you consider gender aspects, actually you have to consider what we call intersectional aspects. So there are a lot of discrimination for women. There are a lot of discrimination for black people, for instance. If you are a woman, a black woman, you have this double discrimination. And so this is even more difficult. So it is always a dimension that you have to carry, to take into account. Actually, for the discrimination, indeed, education is very important. But of course, you have discrimination increasing in the whole career.
This week, we saw a very good, or in my view, a very good example of this. Potential discrimination or the barrier that minorities face with the appointment of the head of the IPCC. And I'm no expert, and I did not look in depth at the CVs, but I saw a news article where the 4 candidates, the 2 men, the 2 women, one woman who was also black, so double discrimination, as you mentioned. And they just gave a description of the 4 people, and what they wrote about the women was like, oh, she's been active there, she has this background. It was really impressive. And then for the men, and especially the man that has been elected, he's a professor at Imperial College, which is impressive, but it was nowhere near, or it didn't sound to me as impressive as what those women had achieved. And I think that's where, for me, it shows a little bit that women, as maybe going further in their career, have to work twice as hard and be twice as good as men in order to be taken as credible and getting the same opportunities. And I think the solution for those kind of things might be that you focus also on quota and making sure that you force people to look at what do we need to change in order to make sure that we have more women in growing also throughout their career, and that young women see then those women as representing themselves.
I also agree very much that probably we shouldn't focus just on
let's say, the women or female struggle. There is many others probably that should be included. And also I think that there is actually another side of climate change and gender is also the fact that we live in a society that's been like it's genderified in the sense that we have like product for women and product for men and overconsumption, and in a way we're all humans, so possibly we could use all the same things. I don't need the pink one or the blue one to so the also it's another interesting topic, but I think for my personal experience and professional experience, the more diverse you bring around the table, the better it is. You just create more discussions, there are more ideas, and hopefully maybe even better solutions.
In an institute which is Earth observation, traditionally, let's say we have many men and very few female, which changed also over the year positively. But this course, academic leadership, has, and that's what I heard from my female colleagues, it's very much teaching male attributes to women, saying you have to be successful and following the role model of men. And that's also the question, do we want this? Do you want to sort of train ourselves to have typically working with male stereotypes of being sort of overconfident, typically a woman in a job interview, if you have like a situation where you ask for a skill you're not totally up to, a man will say, yeah, I can do it. And he thinks, okay, I'll learn it how to do it. A woman will say, oh, I've been doing this and this in this field, but I'm not fully competent or comfortable because I still miss the knowledge and the expertise in this field. What is better? What type of quality we want to have in our future generation?
I wanted to make a comment about the thing the professor said. I think not many girls are studying right now, like interested in engineering, because right now you as women, like you are right now like getting higher positions, and we are seeing it right now. But before we couldn't see that, so we just have to we have to wait until the new generations, they are going and they are seeing examples of how far they can go.
I just want to ask. They say they are more representation from women now. How about the money? Like, how is the money situation? Maybe now there are more women, but are they paid as much as men? What is your experience on that?
It shows the massive inequality in payment. I don't know the exact day, but you see like women typically work at a certain day for free for the rest of the year because they are much less paid for the same position.
In general, women are the ones reducing their working hours when they have children. And I think also this reduces, of course, the salary, even if at the end you get the same payment per hour. And many times if a family cannot afford to pay the daycare and the woman is the one making less money, it's also the one who will quit the job and take care of the baby. So there is like a chain of things having an impact on that. It's not only how much we make per hour or something, but at the end, in general, women make less money. It's like there are statistics. I also don't know the numbers, but it's, yeah, maybe not.
No, I don't know the statistics, but I do see, so I work in recruiting for my company, and I do see that men are, well, I think it's more overconfident in what they can expect as a salary than women. So I would say to women, don't ever undervalue yourself.